Welcome to the internet. Let's talk about why SMMA fucking sucks and also what you can do about it. And to start off, let's talk about how an SMMA actually works from first principles, okay? And if we scroll down, we'll see basically there's a few different steps to any marketing channel. So first of all, we have an advertising system right here. So we just have an ad or whatever, maybe Google ads, maybe a poster like this. And then we have someone calling those leads or reaching out to the leads to set up a sales conversation. And then finally, we go on, we close the deal, we get money, bitches, a Rolls Royce, things like that. And that is essentially the entire sales process. But now we're going to talk about the problems in this process, okay? And so we have a 5-step plan right here, which is basically how things work. So essentially, in this example, we have 10,000 people viewing our ad. And then if we say 1%, that's pretty good. 1% of everyone who views it actually opting in. But let's say we get 1% to opt in, so we get 100 kind of leads. And then of those, we call 50%. And then of those, 20% answer. And then of those, 10% actually end up closing. So we've gone from 10,000 views to 100 leads and down to 1 sale. And if we're selling something for $500, then we've spent $200 in ads, let's say for 10,000 impressions, it's about right, and then $500 in sales. And that is fucking trash, bro. That's literally barely a 2x ROI. And yeah, after the price of cost of goods sold and trying to pay yourself, your client's not going to make money. You're not going to make any money. You're going to hate your life. So if we're losing money with this system, how can we make money? Well, we can get fucking good, and we only have to improve a couple of numbers to see a drastic change. So we still have 10,000 ad views. This time, instead of only calling 50% of the leads, we're calling 100%. We just told our client, hey, fucking do your job, bitch. And they were like, all right, fine. And then we also changed the answer rate from, 20% to 50%, which is very achievable if you just tell your clients to double dial and call the leads faster, all right? So we keep the exact same closing rate. Your client is no better at sales, but we go from 1 deal to 5 deals. All of a sudden, $200 in ads gets you $2,500 in sales, which is over 10 times what you spent. It's a 10x ROI. Over that, it's more than that. And in case you weren't aware, that's fucking goated, bro. You are going to be rich. Your client's going to be happy. Life is going to be good. And so what we have to remember is that to go from a shitty agency that ruins your life, makes you feel like a scammer, and makes everyone hate you, and that difference between this, which is an agency that literally allows you to retire your parents, buy a Rolls Royce, become successful, is only a few small numbers. As you can see, we literally changed 2 numbers by a factor of 5 times cumulatively, and it made a massive difference. So then the question becomes, how do we change these numbers? And there's a few ways that people are doing it. So first of all, you can just set expectations. You can just tell your clients, hey, just so you know, you should try to call all of your leads, and you should try to call quickly so that they actually answer the phone. So a lot of people do that. Another popular thing to do is blackmail, where you basically put it in their contract, like you have to call the leads this many times or else your guarantee is void, or whatever the case may be. But this still does not solve the problem, all right? You still don't have a way to track any of this. Let me show you. So this account doesn't have any data right now, but you can literally see it just shows you calls by status, and then it doesn't even show you like how many new leads were created, what the cover, like how many of those leads were actually called. And as we were just looking at, I mean, that's actually the numbers that matter. It's like how many of the leads are getting called, how many of those leads are picking up, and then of those, like how many are closing. I mean, that's literally all that matters, and we just don't actually have that data here. And the crazy thing is that it's actually possible to show everything that we need. You can literally see how many calls are made, all this information that we're talking about, and you could send it to your client so they could see like how well they're doing, or your ISA. You could send yourself an email when things go wrong. You could literally have perfect reporting. And since you have call recordings, I mean, you could literally send your clients an email every week that's like, here's what you need to improve on your phone calls to get better like conversion rates, and then you're only calling 25% of the leads, whereas your contract says you have to call 100%. So fucking get to it, right? You can literally send your clients all of that information, and that way you just focus on getting new clients, and your clients actually stay because they actually get results. Now, I think that's enough of a cock tease. Let me just show you what I built. So this is the app that I built to just solve this problem basically for myself. And one thing that it does, basically to start out, is it summarizes your phone calls and it puts like a summary in the note section of the contact, so you don't have to go around fucking trying to like listen to all your phone calls again or take notes, which sucks. But here's the main thing: is if we click into a client, we can actually see all of the data that's going to define like how successful they are. So we can see that in the last 7-day period, there's been 41 contacts created. We can see that 19.5% of those contacts were called or called in. So that means only 20% of these new leads are actually like having any kind of phone conversation. And then of those, only 17, or no, sorry, in total, so basically the same amount, are actually having phone calls over 1 minute. Okay, so then we can also see that the average call duration of those calls over 1 minute was 4 minutes, 12 seconds. And that's also visible here, where you can see like most of the calls were kind of between like 5 and 10 minutes. And then there was like a few that were under a minute, and those don't get counted for the coverage rate. And then we can see like kind of message direction by day, just so you can kind of see like how the trend is. And then communication type, it breaks it all down. And then finally, just logs of all the phone calls, where you can go and kind of listen to that call and just see how it went. So this is still a work in progress, but eventually you'll be able to see literally all the KPIs that you need and send your client emails like, hey, you're not doing all the calls you need, or send your ISAs emails, or whatever the situation calls for. You'll be able to keep track of these metrics and actually improve your agency, and make it extremely profitable and extremely successful once you're actually able to see these numbers. So right now you can install this app. You can use code YouTube100 to get $100 in credits. Right now it costs $1 to claim that, but in the future that's going to be going up. So just make sure you click the link in the description below and install it. And if you don't want to use, if you're not signed in with app.gohighlevel.com, you can just type in your own white label domain followed by /integration/ the code that's in that URL. You'll figure it out. And then you can let me know if you have any questions. So I'll put that link below, and yeah, let me know what you think.